You sick and tired of your rounds falling apart because you don't know how to chip? Well, I'm gonna teach you the one chip that's gonna save your rounds and help lower your scores. We're deep diving the bump and run. Got a lot to unpack here, so sit back, relax, take some notes, and learn how the bump and run can begin to make you a better chipper. A little practice and these tips, you're gonna become awesome. Okay, so we got some lies here. We got some sitting up perfect. We got some a little bit fluffy, super fluffy, a little bit buried down. Here's my deal with the bump and run. If I can access the back of the golf ball on any of these shots, even just slightly, you can hit the bump and run, okay? You start to run into some problems if you get into a really buried lie where your ball is covered on the backside with grass here. In that case, if you can see that, in that case, then I'd be looking to maybe go into a wedge or something like that to try to get access to that golf ball. But typically, anytime we can get to the ball, even if it's sitting down just slightly, and we have access here to that back of the golf ball, we can hit that bump and run. You should be doing it. So whenever you can, I'd be hitting it. That bump and run, my favorite shot, one of the easiest shots to hit. I don't know why people don't use it more. It lowers your scores. It makes your putting easy because you're chipping it close. You don't have to worry about flubbing shots and sending it over the green. If you just follow these basic, simple tips, techniques, you can start achieving great chips just with the bump and run. It can pretty much get you out of every single lie that there is. And if you're not using it, you're at a disadvantage, I promise you. So how do we break this down? First is our grip, okay? 3 types of grips. You can have either the baseball grip, which is our hands together, all 10 fingers on the club, not apart, never apart. We can go to overlap grip, which is just our pinky over our pointer, or we can interlock it. Those are the 3 grips. Whatever one works for you, works for me. Okay? Next, we take our stance. I like a shoulder width apart stance. It just gives me a good balance. I can stand here comfortably. Some people like to go a little bit more narrow. Fine, that's what you like. Some people like a little bit wider. Fine, that's what you like. Stance with this shot, to me, isn't as crucial as a stance in, say, like a pitch shot or a sand shot or something like that. Wherever you're comfortable that you feel most balanced is great, because when we hit the bump and run, we don't use the lower half of our body too much. Like I said, it's like a putt. Okay, so our lower half stays pretty still. So wherever you're comfortable, that's where you're gonna be. We treat it like a putt. So we choke down on the club, and next we're getting into position here. So our feet, wherever they're comfortable, our arms are going to hang straight down, and we're gonna grab our choke down club. Okay, just like you're setting up for a putt. The only difference is with a putt, we're directly over the top of the ball with our eyes. And with this, we're just slightly back. You can be close if you want, but I prefer just to be slightly back. Just helps with I feel like the arm swing overall, especially when the swing gets a little bit longer. Now, if you go to do the bump and run, you want to make sure you maintain a Y shape through your swing. This Y should not break down. It should maintain through your swing. We're not going to try to break our wrists at any point. Okay, so always maintain the Y. One more thing, as you start to adjust your swing for the ball to go further, there comes a point where you can't do the bump and run anymore. Once your wrists begin to break, you've gone too far, and now you're gonna have to work into a pitch. So as long as you can maintain your length and maintaining the Y, you could do the bump and run. Once your wrists start to break, then we're going into a pitch. We'll work on that in a different video. Now, like putting, with this bump and run, your tempo is the key to this, okay? So just like a clock, it goes back and forth, right? The clock doesn't change shape. If I want this ball to go shorter, my tempo stays the same, but my stroke shortens up. Further, my tempo is the same, but my stroke lengthens. Now, if you notice, my backswing is equaling my follow through on these. Okay, so if I go shorter, my backswing and follow through is equal. If I go longer, my backswing and follow through is equal. Okay? Your tempo, though, will determine it. Because when you're trying to get consistent, if you take your tempo and let's say I go back at this tempo, but then I try to hit the ball, I'm going to go back and I'm going to speed up, you're going to throw everything off. If you go from one hole and you use a bump and run at this tempo, and then the next hole you go in and you go at this tempo, it's going to throw everything off. Find one tempo and use it. That tempo will be your bump and run tempo. And then from there, you can adjust your backswing and your follow through to control the distance that the ball's going. Does that make sense? I know it does. Once we have our tempo in hand, the next thing to do is try to make contact with this ball, right? So like I said, we're swinging on clock, just back and through. We're not trying to swing the golf club. We're not looking to get a turn in our shoulder. We're just set, ready to putt, back and through. Okay? So once we're set with that, our goal is to hit down and through the ball while we're making that putting stroke. It's not going to take a lot of power to get the ball up and out. So we just simply back and through. Backswing, follow through, one tempo, down and through the ball. Got it? Great. Okay, so let me give you 3 tricks that you could use if you're struggling with the bump and run. With our left hand, or right hand for lefties, you're actually going to squeeze a little bit harder on these back couple fingers. Okay, squeezing like that is going to prevent your right hand from grabbing the club and trying to do something dumb. What does the right hand like to do? The right hand likes to try to scoop this golf ball in the air. This isn't how we putt. When you go to putt, you're not scooping the ball up. Sorry, that was a little quick. When you go to putt, you're not trying to scoop your putt up, right? So why are you going to try it here? Squeeze a little bit on the left hand. It'll remind your brain, oh yeah, my left hand's in control. We're going to swing down and through the ball. Left hand's leading us. So squeeze a little bit with the left hand and make that nice smooth contact. Yeah. Trick number 2. Sometimes people struggle with their weight transfer, okay? Sometimes, even though I'm telling you to putt with it, people like to move their weight. Well, here's your trick. I'm not a believer in shifting your weight and go, oh, you need 87% of your body weight on this foot, 13% on this foot, or anything goofy like that. I don't do a lot with weight transfer from a setup perspective. What I will tell you though is to get that same feeling, put pressure onto your toe, okay? Your front lead toe, just put some pressure on it. So I'm not putting weight on it. I'm not pushing this way. I'm just putting pressure on it. Putting a little pressure on it will keep your body from shifting backwards. Because I'm pushing here, I won't shift backwards. So you can't see it, but you put a little pressure on that left foot and they keep you still in line every time. All right, trick number 3, trick your brain, okay? If you're struggling to make contact, good contact with the ball, hopefully you're making contact and not just missing it, then we got a whole another thing to work on. If you're struggling to make good contact with the ball, look at the front of the golf ball or maybe just slightly in front of the golf ball. Just that little trick there to mess with your brain to think that that contact point is later will make you hit it a little bit more crisp. So I'm set. I'm not looking at the ball. I'm looking at the front of the ball. So here we go. And another crisp shot. Those 3 tricks, see which one works for you. So with the bump and run, the objective is we're getting the ball out of the rough, onto the green, and rolling as quick as possible. So it acts more of like a putt, right? We want it in the air a little bit of time and rolling as much as possible. Now sometimes our ball ends up further away in the rough and the pin is a little bit closer. So we need to control our height, okay? So we need the ball to go up more, land, and roll less. The only difference we do is just switch our clubs. We learn how to hit a couple different clubs with our bump and run, and then we can hit it from every shot. Okay, let me show you how that looks from behind, a couple different shots, so you can see the difference at the height with no change to our technique. Ready? Here's the first one, 7-iron. Watch how it comes out low and rolls. Okay, landed just on the flip side of the fringe and rolled the rest of the way. Now, same swing, same length back, same length forward, same tempo. And let's see how that happens with a wedge. Barely got to the fringe. Same one. Here's how hard I have to, how far back I have to swing to be able to get that wedge to do the same thing as that 7-iron. See the difference? So just changing your club with one swing can drastically change your distance with the bump and run. Here's an important thing with the bump and run. When we hit it, we're trying to hit the ball with a squared club face. Now, I like to try to keep that club face square on my backswing and square coming through. Okay, when we're swinging a normal shot, that club face is opening slightly and rotating through the shot. But with this bump and run, if we can keep it square, like we're putting, and we keep that square club face, then the only thing we have to worry about is our swing path to determine which direction the ball is going to go. So a square club face is going to hit the ball straight on the target line we're swinging. So if we're not moving the club face, well, then our swing path will determine everything. So you can put a club down if you'd like and just practice swinging down this target line without rotating our hands. So if I have my line there just to mark me so I could see what's going on, and I swing down a straight path, the ball heads straight. Now, let's say I cross over this path. I think you already know what's going to happen, but we're going to show you anyway. So the club's face down where I'm supposed to swing. I'm supposed to swing down this way with my square club face. But let's say I keep my club face square and I swing outside of it. Which way do you think it's going to go? Oh, that's weird. It went right. So try to maintain a square club face. Swing down your path straight at target. We want this ball out of the rough, landing on the green, and rolling most of the way to that hole. Okay? So you decide which club you would like to have that happen with. This is my 7-iron. Okay. This is my 9-iron. A little less roll. Still, guess I'll take it. And then here's my wedge. Well, and that checked up. So the wedge is going to roll the least, right? Which means you have to take a bigger backswing. So I try to avoid the wedge because the bigger the backswing, the harder it is to make a good contact with it, and plus you're guessing a little bit more the further you go back. If you can keep it with one of those shorter clubs to just go back and through and get it to pop out and roll, well, you pick which one works best for you. Got it? And for whatever reason, people like to mess up the simple mechanic. The mechanic of going pipe down. The mechanic of going down and through the golf ball. When you get around the green, especially in rough or whatever, people like to try to flip their hands, or they like to try to lift the golf club up. So they're trying to pick the ball up into the air, and you're doing the opposite. You're hurting yourself tremendously. There is a fine point where you can hit it perfect and get away with it, but I wouldn't take that risk. Learn how to hit it properly, down and through the golf ball. Here's the drill. We're putting one hand on the club. We're going to choke down, go through the same mechanics. We're basically hitting the exact same swing, but only with one hand. The club's going to get heavier and it's going to force you down and through. This lead hand is going to be in control of this whole shot. It's not going to allow you to flip the club or pick it up. It's going to fall down to the ground, make good contact with the ball. So you're going to get in here. you're going to do this. You're going to take your stance, try to get your backswing to match your follow through. Smooth tempo here. Anything rushed is going to cause bad shots, I guess. I don't know. But you just want to get in here and get this repetition rolling, okay? The first couple might be goofy. Okay, but you're looking for that ball and ground contact. A little bit into the ground here, but I hit the ball first, and that's the goal. Then get in here, 2 hands back on it, really thinking about how the left hand, your lead hand, is controlling that down and through. That nice smooth tempo, and you're going to be controlling it down and through. And there it is, okay? That down and through contact. And you can experiment. You can get longer with your backswing and follow through, or you can do shorter. If you do shorter, don't get quick, okay? Shorter is just here and through, okay? Not getting fast. We're never skipping the step of letting that club set back here. And then obviously we can go longer. Okay, so work on that. Get one hand on the club. Really concentrate on making that ball ground contact. It'll start making you better. All right, a fun little drill here. Take something soft. I got some styrofoam cups here just stacked up. I'm getting my backswing to equal my follow through. So I have the cups back here, equal-ish on the front here. It's gonna blow over, it's gonna be great. We're just trying to make our backswing equal to follow through without getting way back, without being too short. You know, just getting in a match like we talk about. So we go here, we go back, and we go through. Okay, smooth tempo, gives you a visual, gives you, you know, a direct results, right? So you'll know what's happening on this side. You can see what's happening on this side. I would say on that follow through, you have to be here. If you're a little longer, that's okay. I'd much rather have you accelerating through slightly. We're not going here and going up here, right? So nothing crazy like that. So again, we get in here and then you just go back and through. Backswing equals follow through. The ball is launching up. On our backswing too, we're not looking to, you know, we're not looking to blast the cups or anything foolish like that. So I'm not sure why I just did that. I still have to teach you something else. We're going to back that up a little bit further too. So you can adjust them wherever you need to, right? So your stack of your cups might have to get a little bit higher, but again, if we're trying to hit the ball further, this is what we're doing. So we're getting in here, our backswing equals our follow through. So there you have it. So another thing you can practice, this will help your backswing equal your follow through so you can see it and you can learn from it and it'll just make you a better golfer. All right, so the bump and run is just, it's such a great, easy chip to perform. However, people don't understand their distances and how it affects their chips when they're out on the golf course. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna get 3 clubs. I'm doing a 7, a 9, and a 56 degree, or my sand wedge. I'm going to hit these chips and I'm gonna try to feel my nice, comfortable swing. So when you do the bump and run, you'll find a point that feels comfortable for yourself. That's what we're gonna do. And you're gonna try to make sure you generate nice, sweet spot hits with them to perform a little consistency of our distance. Now we're not looking for how far the ball goes. We're looking for how far the ball lands. That is the key. You need to know, so when you're off the green and you have 15 feet to hit on, you need to know, oh, my 56 can hit that on 15 feet because your 7-iron might land 10 feet and it's not rolling out of the rough once it hits in it. So you need to know how far these balls can fly with your comfortable swing, just so you have a point that you can start at. Okay, so let's hit some. Let's see if we can get some consistency and then figure out our distances. Oh, one other thing. Make sure you write them down and carry them with you when you're golfing. Like, why wouldn't you have that? You're allowed to, so might as well have your distances. It's a cheat sheet, but it's only gonna help you. So here we go. All right, now that we finished up, now we're gonna track how far that went. So my first wedges were just short of the wedges. They didn't roll out too far. My 9-iron went to about where my wedges ended, and then my 7-iron went in between my my 9-iron and my wedge. So let's gather that up. All right, now we could go get the tape measure out, but truth be told, we don't have a tape measure on the golf course. So we're just gonna pace them off because we always have our paces on the course. So you're gonna pace them off, write down what each club did, and then you'll be good to go. Nothing crazy, we're not like big stepping, just regular steps so you know what you got. Easy enough, we're gonna call those 6, 9, and 12 paces. I'll jot that down, I'll have it with me for when I'm on the course, and I need to know how far I want that ball to fly. Do the same. Here's a fun drill for controlling your distance. Your backswing and your follow through. Try to get the ball to go a little bit further each time by just changing your backswing and your follow through. Do it with all your clubs so you can start to learn how they each react off the club face. Now, same idea for a drill, except in this one, we're trying to match the exact same swing that we just hit. So we could try to control our distance with every shot that we hit. If you can dial both of these down, you're going to control your distance with the bump and run. And where should you be hitting the bump and run from? Anywhere. Like truly. You can hit it off of the fairway. You can hit it off the rough. You can hit it buried in the rough. You can hit it off the fringe, backed up against the rough, off a cart path. You can pretty much play it anytime, anywhere that you have access to a good looking green. You know, not that you have something goofy like a tight pin or you have to hit over a bunker or something like that. Like, we're not going to be hitting it there. But if you think you can hit the bump and run, you probably can. Pick the right club, make the right stroke, hit the great shot. If you haven't seen the chipping video that covers everything else, your fluffy lies, your buried lies, your flop shots, click the video there and check it out. Okay, I think I loaded you up there today. Deep dive into the bump and run. Hopefully it helps. I know it did. I know you can take away something from it. Till next time, guys, remember, golf is easy. If you just bump and run, you can stop making it hard. I am the Egg.